Hi, it's Chef Rick, and today I'm making Millionaire shortbread. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to line the bottom of this cake tin with greaseproof paper. So I would just mark around the outside there with a pen. So you see I'm kind of tracing the bottom of it with the pen there, and you'll see when I lift it up it's given us the outline. There you go, with the bottom of the pan. So now I'm just going to cut that out, and that means that that bit of greaseproof paper is going to line the bottom of my my pan perfectly. Pan? Tin. There you go. So I'll put just a tiny bit of butter on there, just a tiny little bit. It kind of acts as a glue, and it's going to stick down the greaseproof paper. So just push that into the bottom, and that is our little kind of cake tin. Let's call it a cake tin from now on. That's our little cake tin, lined perfectly with a piece of greaseproof paper. Beautiful. Okay, butter and sugar, caster sugar. All quantities will be down in the description below. And we're just going to whisk those together. Now, the time of year right now, look at that butter. It's hard butter, but don't worry, this does the job. Obviously, in the summer months, when everything's a little bit warmer in the house, this job's a lot easier, but you don't want to melt that butter, so you're not mixing melted butter. So it's all right. Once it gets caught a few times in an electric whisk like this, it'll soon soften up. But you can see how it's all combining really nicely now. It's called creaming that. That's normally how you'd cream. See, like that with the back of a spoon, you cream. If this was a lovely warm day in the middle of summer, that's how you do the whole thing. Just cream it like that. But again, if you have to cheat a little bit with an electric whisk, go for it. Plain flour, that goes in there. Give that a mix together just with a metal spoon. Make sure everything's incorporated from the edge because you want all of this together. So you give that a really good mix round. And that's going to be the base for the shortbread. So into our lined cake tin, we're going to put that shortbread mixture. And now, using the back of a spatula or any kind of metal spoon, just going to really want to push that down into the bottom. Make sure it's all nicely compressed in there, not with all the weight of the world. You don't want this to be a solid block. You still want to have those air bits in there, but yeah, you do want to push that down. Again, like I say, just using the back of a spoon, making sure that all those areas are that it's all nice and even. You can see slightly there it was fairly lumpy in the middle. Now I just use my hand to push it down and get a really nice finish that I wanted. That's now going to go into the oven. That goes in the oven for around about 20 minutes, or up until you've got that beautiful golden top. It's pretty much the shortbread done. You're now going to leave that on the side to cool completely. Into a saucepan, butter, caster sugar, golden syrup, make sure that's all in there. 1 tin of condensed milk. I'd love to tell you what condensed milk really. I'm sure it is just condensed milk, but it smells amazing, and it's just oh god, it's gorgeous. This amazing, super sweet ingredient. Resist temptation to stick your finger right in there. Now you want to heat this. What we're going to be making here is a beautiful kind of caramel. So you want to just mix all this on a fairly until it's combined. You want this on a low to medium heat, I would say. Just until everything has melted. So you'll feel that obviously you'll see, the butter melting, but the sugar that's in there you can feel as you're mixing around. It's kind of gritty as you're mixing it, but all of a sudden you'll start to feel that everything goes a lot smoother. The butter vanishes, which means that your sugar is now kind of dissolved and the butter has all melted nicely. And there we go. So once we get to this stage, turn the heat up, and you want this to boil, and you've got to stay over it. This is called stove work, so stay over it and keep watching it and keep stirring it whilst it's boiling. And whilst it's boiling, if you keep stirring it, you're in control. If you just let that boil and didn't stir it, it'd be spitting everywhere, your oven would be covered, it'd be a mess, your pan would be ruined. But if you stay over it, just keep control. If it gets scary, or if it gets to the point where you think this is going a bit too much, just move it away off the heat, but watch how the colour changes. You need to do this for about 8 minutes, I would say, and all of a sudden, look at it, it's just going this beautiful rich colour, and it's all smooth and it's all amazing because I kept on stirring it. And that's the real trick to this. Just stand over it and stir it, and it starts to thicken in your hands, the colour changes. It's quite a rewarding process, really. Bring that off the heat, and there you go. That's our beautiful kind of caramel toffee. Perfect colour, super smooth. Keep bringing it around the sides, checking the bottom of the pan, making sure none of it is caught and none of it is stuck. But as you can see, that's pretty much perfect. Oh yeah, whilst I'm doing that, by the way, if you like my videos, please hit like at the bottom. And if you're not subscribed, if you hit subscribe, it's amazing for me, free for you. So please hit subscribe if you want. I do 3 of these a week. Pour that now on top of the cooled shortbread. Now I could have ideally done with a slightly taller, what were we choosing to call this before? Tray? Can't remember what we called it, but yeah, I could do with it being slightly taller, because now I've kind of left it a bit difficult for myself to put a chocolate top on, you see, but you'll see what I mean by that in a moment. So you basically pour all of that on there, let that just knock it down a little bit, just take out any air bubbles, and then I put that in the fridge for about an hour. They're just going to melt some chocolate. This is a bain-marie. The reason I stuck my finger in there was just to show you that whenever you're making a bain-marie, you're cooking over indirect heat. So you can see the water isn't touching the bottom of the bowl. Double check it by lifting the bowl out and rubbing it. And if there's any water touching it, that means you're in contact. You don't want that. You want this chocolate to melt gently. That's just some normal milk chocolate. So we're just going to melt the chocolate over a bain-marie. Just checking as well, of course, making sure that the pan's not boiled dry. You always want to make sure that you've still got plenty of water in there when you are using a bain-marie. And also just double check all the time whether it sometimes can get a little bit aggressive and boil in there, so keep an eye on it by lifting the bowl up. Let that melted chocolate just relax for a couple of minutes on the side. Obviously this is still hot, this is still melted chocolate, but it's not straight out of that bain-marie, so it's not completely boiling. The caramel top as well, don't forget, this has been in the fridge for a couple of hours, so it's lovely and cold, so you're not risking any damage or anything melting here. Now you want to spread this out. Again, like I said earlier, if this pan was a little bit taller, then we could have put 4 times the amount of chocolate in and just poured it straight in, and the walls of the pan would have kept the shape perfectly. But in this instance, it is what it is. I filled it up with the caramel, so we're just going to now spread the chocolate out to the outsides. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Just make sure that it's all nice and neat. Again, if there's a bit of texture in the top, great. You can also add white chocolate at this stage and use like a cocktail stick to make some beautiful shapes and patterns, make it look really, really pretty. And there you go, in the fridge you go. That's now had, look at that, it's been in the fridge for a couple of hours. And here we are, we're ready to slice. I had to run a knife just around the outside of mine just to loosen it up ever so slightly, but it should still, this is really hard and cold at this point. Just going to turn it out. You see that base, absolutely beautiful on the outside. You could just have it like one ginormous piece like that if you're a complete lunatic, but I would recommend slicing it into cubes. So use a nice sharp knife, the longest knife you've got. It's just going to make everything easier. If when you're chopping down into your chocolate like this, it starts cracking everywhere, then just leave it out on the side for a while before you cut it. I didn't care. I'm not bothered at all if that cracks, because look how gorgeous it looks in the side. And again, I'm going to make these cubes, and I never really want my cooking to be too pretty anyway. You always want it to fit me, you know. People want to stick it in the face, not take a picture of it. But there you go. Absolutely beautiful cubes of Millionaire shortbread. It's one of my favourite things ever. Absolutely love it. It's so easy. Probably hardest bit is just, you know, monitoring the boiling toffee process. But again, it just takes a little bit of work. That's it. They're amazing. It's like amazing shortbread, amazing toffee, beautiful chocolate on the top. Try not to eat more than 4 or 5 in any one sitting because it's very gluttonous. Thanks so much for watching the video. I really hope you liked it, and I'll see you on the next one.